Hi, I'm Sharooz. Welcome to my studio. Today we're going to be talking about the brand new Korg Electribe music production station. It's a sequencing all-in-one box with some really cool sounds, effects and editing capabilities. I've spent probably about the last 6 months on and off making some patterns for this, and today I just wanted to talk you through some of those and describe some of the work I've been doing on this very clever little box. You can see on here there's 16 drum pads, each assignable to its own hit. There's some bass tones, I think over 400 drum hits, some really cool vintage emulations of some of the classic drum machines on here. Lots of different effects types, reverbs, delays, distortions, that kind of thing. I'm just going to take you through a rough overview of some of the real-time editing functions in here. So this is one of the patterns I made, Acid Rain. And you can take the cutoff and resonance up and down in real time. Change the filter type. You can actually change the oscillator in real time. So I can change the actual synth part there from a saw to a pulse wave. Change the kick drum in real time. Get a harder kick on there. Snare as well. And all this stuff's like really useful when it comes to like putting sequences together. It just helps you forge together a more complete sort of audio picture. So another really nifty feature of the box is this little effects scratch pad here, which has appeared on a bunch of other Korg boxes in the past, and it's just really good for like live tweaking. So I'll just play the sequence back. Just have this looper effect going on. It responds to pressure and to the way in which you scrape your fingers across it. So if I change the part, and you can record these in real time as well. So if I was to like, we could have that as part of the sequence. The longer you hold it, the longer the reverb tail. So you get a really cool feature. And you can re-record that over the top as well. So now I'm going to go through some of the preset rhythms I've programmed for the Electribe and also build a pattern from scratch so we can see some of the other features. So these are some of the patterns I've created, starting with this one, Lantana. I've tried where possible to try to get these patterns to replicate my own sound as an artist as much as possible, kind of like a deep, laid-back techno vibe, I suppose. And they follow each other sequentially. So there's like a variation between each pattern where like an additional part or an extra hi-hat comes in. This one's slightly more sort of groovy and garagey. It makes use of some of the swing functions, shuffle functions in there. Also pitching up some of the synth hits and adding some extra parts. This one probably more representative of my sound than any of the others on there. And a lot of these are making like use of the keyboard function where you can take one sound and spread it across the keys, which is really good for writing bass and lead sounds. Okay, so I'm going to build a quick pattern now, just using some of the preset drum sounds in here. We've just put some kicks, snares, claps and synth hits and percussion hits in there. I'm going to just put a kick on every beat of the bar, put a clap in, some synth hits. I'm going to use the keyboard function here just to spread it across the keys. So and then put some effects on there. Some filtering. I'm going to record in some hi-hats. Some snare parts. A crash. Get into the part mute and take some bits out. Build the pattern back up again. So I've tried to make the patterns just sound as much in keeping with what I do as an artist as closely as possible, really, and just try to make them replicate like real-time arrangements in my own music. I think overall the palette of sounds that come with it, the sort of tones that are inside the machine, and the sort of editing capabilities just make it fit in really nicely with everything else in here. It sits really nicely alongside the Volca boxes and all the other vintage gear, and you know, for live use I could see this really becoming part of my permanent setup.